at the Zombie Research Society Mesa chapter, and we recognized your book as like an official survival guide, but we were wondering why you felt the need to include fictional elements such as the Slime virus.
Oh, you're here to bust my balls. Yeah, which is interesting because Matt Moak is actually a friend of mine, so I wouldn't assume that he would have let you do something like that to come here and start something, but all right, you're going to start something, I'm going to come and finish it. What's your name?
My name is Kailara.
Hi, Kailara. Guess what? What were you doing in 1999?
Living.
Yeah. Were you writing about zombies? I was. Because no one else had done it. Because while you were busy living, I was writing a book. And because of that book, you can come along and tell me that it sucks. See, that's what happens. So I'm sorry, you know what, maybe my next project will be inventing a time machine where I can go back and take you with me to 1999 and I can sit you down at a desk and say, go for it. So the answer is, why did I feel that need? Because I'm a really bad writer with nothing better to do. And because, you know why? At that point, I didn't have a Zombie Research Society to go to ask these questions. You know who I had? Me. And sometimes me just ain't good enough, but it's the best I can do. Thank you for coming, everyone. Next! Mark you well if any of you are thinking of starting something.
I think my question's harmless, but...
Why would you be intimidated? I thought I handled that in a very nice political way.
What is your least favorite zombie film?
Oh, least favorite zombie film? Oh, sorry, I have to get angry again. I thought I was going to be all cool. Return of the Living Dead. Oh my God. That movie, if zombies were a race, that movie would be racist. No, literally, they're back from the grave and ready to party. That's what that was actually on the title. Come on. Like I said, I take zombies really seriously. They really scare the crap out of me. So that movie was so hokey, and it was so campy, and it was so exploitive. It was such a minstrel show. And it felt like something that I was really scared of was set back like 20 years. And look, to this day, honestly, when you guys talk to people who don't know about zombies, what's the first thing they say? Brains. It made no sense. It was poorly done. I mean, first of all, it wasn't even that funny. Shaun of the Dead was hella funny. I have nothing against zombie comedies. For God's sake, Shaun of the Dead, not only was it a great zombie comedy, it was a great freaking comedy. It was super funny, it was deep, it was well made, you cared about the characters, and that had some really serious stuff in it. So, yeah, oh, that movie, oh.
Thank you so much. This is a shirt from my clothing company. It has a zombie on it.
Wait, the Zombie Research Society?
Or Killing Kittens clothing.
Here we go, product placement.
Oh, okay. Move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I hope I'm not going to say something. I'll be honest, I know very little from zombies, but I'm wondering if you've ever thought of writing, or if somebody's written a book from the point of view of the zombie, where they're conscious of who they were, but they're still compelled to tear apart and eat their friends.
I think there have been. There are a couple, right? Shout out some titles for this young lady.
Monster Island. Yeah.
Monster Island and iZombie. I haven't read them, but I mean, I've heard these titles. I've heard good stuff. Zombie Haiku. I mean, the thing is, for me personally, that doesn't do it for me. Not to say that stuff is bad. I'm just saying, like, just it's my cup of tea, because for me, another thing that scares me about zombies is the inhumanity of it. You know what I mean? Like, as far as I'm concerned, the less human they are, the scarier they are. Because I tend to look at them not even as predators, I look at them as like a plague. You know, it's like you get some horrible disease, like you get Ebola, you can't negotiate with it. It's like you have to kill it or it's going to kill you. That sort of no breathing room really scares me. Any situation like that really scares me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Incidentally, the no breathing, oh my God, they're all coming to get me. Part of that's just from being Jewish. Anyway. Yes.
Hi, my name is Autumn. I got your book, Zombie Survival Guide, when I was 13 for my birthday. I read it that first night.
13, Jesus.
Paranoid as hell.
Who gave you that 13?
My dad, he gives me a zombie book every year. Oh, you're really handsome too, by the way. My question is...
What, in like a John Pryor kind of way? A pretty big Blaine? That's a major appliance, it's not a name. Anyway.
I can actually put a face to a name now.
Thank you.
And
I was 13 when I saw my first zombie movie.
what was your favorite zombie movie?
Well, my favorite is the original Dawn of the Dead. Favorite. Well, and that's the thing, because look, like I said, I'm a big nerd, and I'm not just a sci-fi nerd, I'm also like a big history nerd. Like, I tend to get into this kind of stuff. So, like, I like things with social commentary. Like, I like the old Star Trek, and like Next Generation, the old Twilight Zones. I like it when somebody's trying to infuse something. Because especially in the 60s, you know, the golden age of sci-fi, they couldn't talk about anything. So they had to put it all in science fiction. They had to have, you know, two guys come onto the Enterprise where one guy's black on one side, white on the other, and it's reversed, and they hate each other. You know, race relations.
Oh, my actual question was, how did you pick the locations right for recording attacks?
Oh, recorded attacks? Oh, recorded attacks came from a Zombie Survival Guide because I'm a big history nerd. So for me, history, everyone thinks it's so darn boring and dry, and I like that stuff. And I thought, well, if I put zombies in it, it might be interesting. So that's one thing. And also back to Dawn of the Dead, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing because it's really a scathing review of George Romero's generation. Like, Romero's a big thinker. You know, he likes to tell human stories. He's what's also called a baby boomer. All right? There used to be a generation called the World War II generation, and like they grew up in the Great Depression, and think times were really hard, and they struggled, and then they had to like go off to war. Had it really tough. But then they came back and built this amazing country we're all enjoying. And then they had kids. And the kids grew up in this sort of happy, fun time. And initially they were very idealistic, like, oh, I don't trust anyone over 30, yeah. And then they turned 30. And then they said, oh my God, stuff, money, yeah! So Romero made that the theme of his movie, which is, hey, what's that? It's a shopping center, one of those new indoor malls. And I always think that that movie should be put in a box set with Easy Rider. It should be called The Baby Boomers, the beginning and the end of a dream. Anything else? Anything else?
I love you. Just really bad.
Thank you, I love me too.
Bye.
You're nervous, it's me. Wait till like Boxleitner gets up here, then you can be nervous. Because incidentally, I get all nervous about people I really admire. You know, when I try to meet them, I'm like, yeah, why am I nervous? I'm successful. Then I go meet him, I turn into that Chris Farley character in SNL. Like, remember when, in Tron? Yes, sir.
That's pretty much exactly how I'm feeling right now, but I full on agree with the inhumanity, like you're saying, the whole saying of brain things. I'm not agreeing with that whatsoever. I kind of want to go a little bit off the zombie topic and clarify, and I hope I'm not wrong. Did you write Max Brooks' Monster Slayer?
No, there's something called Max Brooks' Monster Slayer?
It's a movie, and like I was in an argument with somebody, and they were saying that you
And
wrote
I
it.
didn't get paid for it? Oh, Lord! No! First of all, how much of a dick would I have to be to cast myself?
Well, I thought it was like ownership is how it is. It's Max Brooks. Like, it's like ownership, Max Brooks.
Oh, you mean like Max Brooks' Monster
Right.
Slayer? Like when they, yeah, because sometimes people do that, you know, when it's like Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket,
Right.
as opposed to like R. Crumb's Full Metal Jacket? No, I have nothing to do with it. Guess what I'm going to be Googling tonight?
Yeah. I truthfully like the movie, so if your name's on it, it's a good movie.
Thank you.
But if Dawn of the Dead is your favorite movie, how did you feel about the remake?
I thought the remake was great.
I love the remake.
I thought it was a great movie. I don't think they needed to call it Dawn of the Dead. I was like, why are you calling it Dawn of the Dead? It has nothing to do with the other movie.
Right.
Like in the original Dawn of the Dead, the shopping mall is the star of the movie. That's the main character. In the next one, it could have been anywhere. I mean, it was a great, oh my God, what a great movie. And I think that movie doesn't get enough credit for trying to bring zombies back.
That's right.
You know, they do, oh my God, 28 Days Later, and rightfully so, and Shaun of the Dead, but for some reason that remake tends to fall through the cracks. But like, I don't know if you guys remember, when that movie came out, that was a big deal.
I liked it, and it's just mostly like what you're saying, where it seems like you should do something about it. And that was one of the first movies, like when they made the cars at the end. I just thought it was great.
Oh,
they were doing something about it.
I talk about that a lot. I do these zombie self-defense lectures. That's a whole other story. I started doing these zombie self-defense lectures when my first book came out, and I was panicked. I was like, oh my God, everyone thinks it's funny. I got to do something. So I started really doing these sort of straight-faced zombie self-defense lectures. Like, here's what you would do. Like, you know, take back the night, but take back the night from zombies. And one of the things I say is like, look, I loved Dawn of the Dead. I love when they turned the armored personnel carriers, you know, from airport shuttles. You could hear the music. Dun, 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 dun. But I use that as an example. I say, look, unless you're like licensed mechanics, don't. Because I try to make that more social commentary. Like I always say, how many people in a room is a licensed mechanic? Nobody raises their hand. How many people here work with their hand? Nobody raises their hand. Because one of the points I make in my books is like, we as a society have moved so far beyond self-reliance, we are so interconnected, that all it takes is just one cut in the chain and everything falls apart. I mean, literally, there's an earthquake in Japan, but we're building the same cars in America, but we can't build the cars because one of the parts, just one, is built in Japan. So the whole production line comes to a stop. It's like, okay, we're very connected. So yeah, Dawn of the Dead.
Great movie. Thank you.